that early aggression away from Tarzan. Viego to be locked in.
And I like this. I mean, you've already gone through like a lot of the early game junglers that could be picked up. I mean, you're at least seeing Xin gone. We have seen the potential here for a Diana pick to come through, especially with the Lucian. So there we go, instantly picked up. So now you're looking at LNG going, right, what do you want to run into this Lucian? Syndra, we saw banned away. Lucian does incredibly well against Syndra. It is a little bit more of a skill matchup in the early stages where you're trying to dodge away from the Dark Spheres, the Scatter the Weaks, but it's still Lucian can somewhat bully that matchup.
Oh, but the Ziggs could come out from the other side here. Light gonna lock in a much slower carry pick than last time.
This is the first time we've seen Light play this as well. I actually wasn't sure if he'd managed to pick it up, but obviously has. So now when you look at LNG's side, they've got like at least this late game carry potential from both Viego and from the Ziggs. They've got strong engage coming through. Like their team fight is going to be pretty strong, but certainly teetering towards that late game. Whereas now hovering over on Sunin's side, you're seeing like a strong mid jungle 2v2, crazy strong level 6 coming through as well with that Kaisa. A lot of assassination and burst potential for someone like the Ziggs that's on that back line.
Isn't it crazy to see Suning just flip a switch here coming into game number 2, saying, hey, look, this super slow comp did not work in game number 1. We're changing things entirely. We're going aggressive. We're going for a lot more action in the early game. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, Dagda. Now to the bans, though. LeBlanc taken off the board, taking away Icon's comfort.
And these mid-game bridges, right? Things that can power through this mid-game, be incredibly strong, and kind of bounce back against this mid-game composition that Suning offer right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another kind of strong mid-lane ban coming through, or the potential to go towards something like a Kennen ban again, up towards LNG's top side. I have a feeling that Viego is going to be going into the jungle for Tarzan.
I'll have to see. That. I mean, the Viego has increased in prevality? That's not a word. Prevalence in the jungle role as opposed to the solo ladies. I'm going to move on, Dagda. Kennen has been banned. That's really easy to say.
Kennen has been banned, and look, I'm sorry, you've been hanging out with me in my Irish accent too long, friend, but on the opposite side, LNG got to ban away the Rakan. So a lot of these early aggressive picks coming through from these early aggressive supports being banned away from LNG's side. So again, just trying to make sure there's nothing that can try and lock up this Ziggs, but Set could be going both towards Angel in this mid lane, but I'd be surprised, more than likely going towards On in that bottom side of the map. The Zac, I am the biggest fan of here. Okay, so the thing I really like about when you pick a Zac is when you've got a guaranteed bully in the mid lane that can actually stop the pressure coming through from the enemy jungler. Right now, yes, you will have counter pick top, which will secure at least one strong side of the map for SofM, but that mid lane matchup is very back and forth.
Let's just jump back like 4 or 5 steps here, Dagda, because I think you're ahead of me here. We've got 2 junglers locked in for Suning. There's a Zac and a Diana. But is this Diana mid?
Oh, true. I hadn't even copped that. Yeah. It must be. Maybe it's
gotta be, right? It's gotta be Diana mid.
It's not. It's Zac support. I actually think this is Zac support. I think they're going to go, hey, look, Ziggs isn't able to do too much, so we're going to take this Zac in the support role. He'll be able to launch himself in on top of this Ziggs and actually provide that engage tool that's been banned away from things like the Rakan and this Rel. I think this is actually On flexing his muscles a bit with this Zac in the support role.
All right, well, we talked about the Volibear from Tarzan before this series began. It's one of his really, really strong picks, as well as the Syndra that got buffed. Icon locks it in, and the Lucian could be going up to that top side, could be going into the mid lane. We'll have to see with this last lock-in. But the Akali, it's something Bin has played, it's something Angel has played. But with that Lucian, you'd anticipate it would be Akali going up to the top side. In fact, no, it's the Jax comes through. This is a Bin special.
Yeah, and also a good matchup in towards the Viego as well. Now, Viego did get nerfed on patch 11.15, so his base damage on his Q got reduced, and also the healing that he gets done from marked minions and stuff, but more jungle area. The big one is just going to be his damage on his Q, so giving a bit of an easier time towards the Jax, and as well, something that will answer for that late game scaling. So I think now you've got a potential side lane play coming through for Suning, where they can put that threat into the top side. And as we said, it looks like On flexing a little bit with the support role, picking up that Zac, and being able to bring that to the table, provide that engage tool to follow up or set up for this more assassin-focused jungler.
Flexing in more ways than one with that Zac pick looking locked in. It's not about how much you can lift, Dagda. It's about how good you look. And I'm looking real good on that support pick. I am really curious what on earth this game is going to look like from Suning. We have had some strange drafts to kick off playoffs here, Dagda. It feels like Suning coming in, pulling out all of the stops. What are you anticipating from the early game here? It feels to me like Suning have to be the ones on the front foot.
The thing here for Suning is that they're very reliant on that level 6, right? When you look at the jungle matchup, Diana kind of wants to hit that. Culling is really where this Lucian can come alive. He can bully a little bit, but certainly in team fights, you want that culling up and available. Same for Kaisa. So I think we'll see a lot of early game skirmishes down towards the dragon, specifically when we have that level 6 hit from Suning. Whereas when you look across at LNG, right, it's, hey, we've got this Ziggs. He's going to just passively farm bot side. Let's put this pressure through the mid lane with Icon, like the double CC between the body Syndra. So difficult to handle. You got the same when you look towards this top side. The ability to turn off towers. I think it's going to be more top focused for LNG.
All right, playing opposite sides of the map here as we head into game number 2. Now, the last couple of times these two teams met, Suning beat LNG in the playoffs last time around 3-0. They beat LNG in the regular split last time around 2-1. But here in playoffs in summer, LNG have begun with a win. They've managed to take a game where Suning were ahead no less. And now with the advantage in this series, we'll see if they can keep the ball rolling there. But we've got to look towards the junglers as we start this one off. As we always do, Dagda, let's talk pathing in this early game. Where do you want to see these junglers going? You said playing to top side. Perhaps Tarzan will start in his red.
I think SofM going to just go for a standard full clear, right? And all he wants is just as much help as possible to start this up. Diana, very reliant on hitting that level 6 and getting things started, especially when you look towards like the mid jungle 2v2 right now. No CC there until you hit 6 for SofM. So SofM going to play it nice and calm, and then we can start to look for some more aggressive plays and skirmishes that we talked about. Whereas for LNG, Tarzan comes alive at level 3 and has a insanely fast clear on this Volibear. Even skipping his Krugs, which I'm kind of surprised at, means that chances are he's looking for a gank before the 3-minute 15 mark and before those scuffles spawn.
Be interesting to see such an early gank coming on through. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to wait and see. Icon with this Syndra, though, I'm really curious to see how Syndra does coming back into the meta. And to be honest, the changes to Syndra, not really a quote-unquote buff in the same way as more of just a revert on a previous nerf, right? Coming back to where she was last year in 2020. Zali bullying Bin out of that lane. I was a little bit worried for Bin there because he was a level down. He was in the middle of the minion wave, but he manages to walk away with basically all of his HP.
Yeah, just about able to get away from that, even getting some nice trades back against Ale as well. But as you can see, Ale in these early stages, able to use the range that this Viego has and consistently trade against Bin. So need to try and find a couple of items and then go aggressive as Bin to make those plays happen. But at least he's breathing a sigh of relief because we're talking about potential for the gank top. Well, we're actually getting a bit of a different pathing from Tarzan. He's moving back down towards his bottom side to avoid SofM.
Yeah, does not want to go for the 1v1 in the early game. And I mean, to be honest, let's be reasonable here, Dagda. I don't think we were anticipating many early game 1v1s between Tarzan and SofM. These guys, not massive in terms of that kind of stuff, but Tarzan is going to go for this top crab here in the end. SofM ain't thinking about crabs, though. Look at him sneaking into this top side here, hiding in a lane brush. He can move forward in the lane here. Now, Ale, this would be a long play because Ale is currently underneath his tower. They need to wait a long time. Recall's coming through. I think the play is cancelled here from Suning, but Bin goes in. Flash from Ale. That's already a bit of a win from Suning, but it does mean that SofM has been spotted out. Tarzan moves in. There's a TP coming through from Icon as well as the play goes the way of LNG. It's all blown up in Suning's face. LNG read SofM like a damn book and completely shut Suning out of the early game. Ale jumps over to the ward after stealing Bin's abilities. It's insult to injury here as Bin TP's back in.
And it's a disaster for Suning in the early stages. They try to go for the play to allow Bin to shove in this top wave. But with the lazy recall coming through from Bin, it gets stopped. They stick around too long and they give 2 quick kills across to LNG on their strong side of the map. Viego now has the steel-plated boots, which means it's going to be so much more difficult for Bin to trade effectively against them.
And I mean, you can see it right there. Angel gets a couple of autos onto Ali. It barely even scratches him. Barely even scratches the itch that he has at this point. His light is going to be able to crash a massive wave on this bot side as well. But nicely done there by Huanfeng to at least deny a recall. And that will be a big CS lead in favor of Suning in the bot side after that wave. See, Bin gets his recall cancelled. Ali flashes to answer, but then the TP comes through.
Yeah, and this is an overstay from Suning. Angel had just re-TP'd in towards the mid lane, so you always have the numbers advantage. And honestly, I don't want to ever face Volibear in a 2v2 in the early stages. This dude is insane when it comes to these early skirmishes. The shields, the heals, the AoE damage is just nuts, and you can see it there, right? Yeah, I know. I saw it at the start, and I was like, all right, let's just leave that one. We're just not going to let it. Look, Icon, he's a cool guy. All right, he's a cool guy. Sometimes he messes up his mechanics. We just don't want to, like, point it out.
Lwandy, we said he makes plays in the early game. He gets into these solo lanes. He's doing it again. And Suning are being taken apart here. Bin with the double stun. And actually, with the corrupting potion, does survive it. Still, really good pressure. Bin didn't even flash. Yeah,
Counter-Strike OP. Like, when you're playing against Leona and Viego, they can't really do much. But there's 3 members of Suning here now.
Yeah, are they going to go for the dive here? LNG trying to make it happen. On's arrived in with the double stun here. That's one. Going in favor of Suning, but the TP to answer. Bin flashes under his tower. Taken out by the Ziggs. Light is TP'd up and got himself a kill. Not too shabby for LNG to go even.
And again, LNG just finding the advantages with these TPs. Light had already pushed in bot lane, so he's free to make this play top. They answer back, and it is a 1-for-1. And now you'll see Light resetting. Lwandy going back to bot lane, but nice job from LNG to turn around what could have been a pretty disastrous play.
Yeah, LNG, it feels like they have figured out the early game, and the early game has been one of the biggest issues for this team across the entire, not even just split, across the entire year. Feels like maybe they've got an answer to the issues that they've been having.
And it's the pressure points. It's the pressure points that we brought up at the start, right? We wanted to see this Volibear pick because it brings that early aggression out from Tarzan. And what do we see now? 3 quick kills from LNG, with Tarzan being present in all of them. This is exactly the LNG that we were hoping to see come out in this series.
And now we've hit the level 6 mark, crucially, for Suning. So, what we talked about before, how LNG had this strong top side to play through. We've seen that coming through. Now we need to see the answer from Suning at level 6 using these ultis. But Suning started this play. They tried to answer the original dive. It's a great TP. Having TP on your AD carry, who knew that could be good?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to eventually go back to this League of TP, right? Before the moment, LNG only running 3 of them means that they're just having more bodies that they can move around the map. And I think for Suning, just disrespecting it, right? Didn't respect the initial play where Icon had his TP to get topside. And then as well with Light being able to move up towards that top side with that TP as well. So now you're looking at Rift Tower about to spawn. You've got a massive lead for Ale in that top lane. Tarzan nicely ahead as well. And that's why LNG, they feel free to just start this one up. However, you do have to be careful because Huanfeng and On have already moved up.
Yeah, I do just want to quickly mention here, Angel could be in trouble. Really aggressive positioning. They're going to Tarzan here, onto SofM. In fact, is Suning once again on the back foot. Cell Division will not save On here. No TP to keep the blobs alive. It's a double kill for Ali. Lwandy in trouble, but he survives the call and can't hit. Huanfeng can't finish it. And LNG, they get everything they can want. They get a 2,000 gold lead.
LNG blocking all shots onto Lwandy, keeping the support safe. But again, these picks, these plays are going in favor of LNG, despite the fact that Light was only walking up. He gets the Mega Burner Bomb to set things up. Ale in position to collect this massive top wave. And honestly, we could just have a rinse and repeat as LNG go and spend their money, and particularly Ale. 4-1 on this Viego pick. I've seen Viegos with 2 kills take over a game, let alone 4, and we'll get to see it here, right? Manages to just set up for the CC on towards SofM. They pick him off nice and early. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes across the top, and the early plays from LNG are just better coordinated and better use of their CC.
It feels like Suning just had no idea Ale was there on the other side of the wall, right? SofM jumping over the wall straight into the open arms of Ale. Now a Herald will be started off by Tarzan on the top side. Huanfeng on the bottom side of the map right here. Both AD carries, in fact. But Suning's starting to move over. On, already making moves, but here's a TP from Icon to be a part of this play. Herald down to 3,000 here. It's going to be Angel recalling. He can TP back, but he's going to be late. This will already be taken down here. Could be a smite fight, but I don't think SofM can get near. Herald taken by LNG, and it feels like Suning with a composition we said needed to be proactive. They're not sure what to do.
And I thought that this was going to be a case of, hey, look, we're going to try and trade this, right? We're giving up on top side. Let's go see if we can make a play onto light onto bot side, or guarantee some turret plates for Huanfeng, like actually trade effectively. But instead, we see SofM committing again towards the top side, doesn't get anything, and now LNG are snowballing ahead. 1,000 gold lead for themselves. And especially when you got the Ziggs, we talked about in the last game, let's just run bot. Let's just start to make these plays around the Ziggs and get these turrets rolling in LNG's favor.
And you know what? I've not been a big fan of LNG across this split because they played very, very slow. But if they play like this every game, I'm a fan of LNG. I want to see more of this because this is the kind of gameplay that we got to see a little bit of earlier on in the split. This is the kind of gameplay that I've been missing from this squad. And Ale especially. He's one of those top laners that can be a bit feast or famine. He is feasting today, that is for sure.
And I mean, this is the LNG where it feels like they've been asked to roll a skill check in D&D, right? They get above a 15, phenomenal. They're able to do it. Other than that, doesn't really work out. Like, there's so many times, I always go back to like OMG game 1. They end up having this like insane quick sweep across OMG. And then game 2 and 3, they go back to absolutely nothing. Like, it's so frustrating to watch.
Oh no. Not even a cell division available. SofM behind the play here. That's a 3-man moonfall, but I mean, it doesn't do any damage because of exhaust. So now they back away. Bin's TP'd in, has to jump over to Huanfeng. 2 down for Suning and LNG. I mean, there's not even a Drake. I'm not even sure why Suning are trying to fight that one. Angel now in trouble. Scatter Week could be available very shortly. Stun over the wall and follows it through as well. Ale to take the kill, take a form on top of it. And now take a mid-tier 1 tower. The Herald comes down. Light is here on the Ziggs. We talked about this game number 1. Herald plus Ziggs equals tower. That's the equation you got to keep in your mind. And down go the plates.
And we said LNG plus picks equals a win. Well, LNG have been gifted picks by Suning this entire game so far. We've just seen Suning trying to overforce, over-aggress in areas they should not be in. And LNG have just been cleaning them up consistently. And now you're looking at a composition with a late game in the Ziggs, a crazy strong front line in this Leona and this Volibear, and a 5-kill Viego. He nearly has his Divine Syndra already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure why On was trying to contest for that ward. Like, the whole squad was there. I don't know what he expected.
And I mean, look, from this point forward, LNG just run them down. They're able to get this play on towards mid. And look, I get it, Angel, but there's no reason to try and clear that wave. You just accept that there's going to be a Rift Herald coming down. Get the hell out of dodge. He ends up giving more kills across towards LNG. And now we've got a 4,000 gold lead for LNG. Divine Syndra completed. Luden's Tempest and the Angel's Anguish completed as well for the other carries of LNG. And now when you start to look towards like the follow-up Rift Herald, how do you try and stop that as Suning? There's so much strength coming in on LNG's side right now.
And this is the power of this Ziggs as well, right? We're actually seeing Light taking plates. We didn't really get to see Huanfeng grabbing plates for himself in the early game on his Ziggs pick. Engage from On isn't going to go through in the end. The Elastic Slingshot threatened, but 1 or 2 more procs of the passive, and Light will be able to finish that tower on the bottom side. They only have 15 seconds on the plates, though, so you don't anticipate that he'll be able to get all of the plate gold, but should be able to finish the tower regardless as On zips on out of the jungle here. In fact, no, they get the plate gold. The threat of the dive is enough. Light has received at least a portion of 10 plates so far this game as SofM chased out of his jungle by the enemy top laner, who is absolutely wailing on him right now. Ale literally 1v4 kills the enemy jungler. Now the answer from Suning as they get onto Icon as well. No flash available. That is the second flash that Icon has failed this game, but he still gets out with his life. Light to answer, gets the kill. Now Tarzan's here. Suning, this play was gifted to you on a silver platter and it's still gone wrong. They just can't get a win this game.
And they even gift the kill to Light as well. Get the Ziggs fed, and that was insane. Ale is just like, yeah, I got this, bro. Hold on to my drink here. As he goes in, murders SofM. Icon then thinks, you know what? I've seen my big brother do this. I'm gonna go do the same. Realizes he doesn't have 6 kills to his name and has to back out. But either way, LNG, like, what do you say? They've just taken over. Like, Suning haven't had a look in since the get-go. And I think the fact that Ale here is 1v4 says a hell of a lot. Like, Angel is afraid to go near him. SofM is running for the hills. And even as Huanfeng arrives, Ale finishes him off. And then Icon, a bit unfortunate here. Not expecting so many other people to show up, but just about able to escape from this one.
Icon barely gets away with it, but get away with it he does. And it is, what was it, like a 4-for-1, I think, at the end.
Why
of
are
that
you
one.
low again?
Icon somehow is 1 HP. I don't know what happened on the top side of the map, and I don't think we'll get a replay, Dagda, because there wasn't a kill, so we'll just live in mystery from this point on. As, oh, hang on. Lwandy versus On. Nope, he's going to bounce away. I thought we were going to get a duel there. I was ready.
I'm actually kind of down just to see how Lwandy does now against a lot of Suning's players, because Bin still trying to threaten here. And
what? Bin is trying to dive Ale? He's got 7 kills, dude. I'm amazed that he nearly pulled that off. That's actually insane. On now in trouble. Angel there alongside him. The culling. Bit of a whiff, honestly, from Angel, and he stepped way too far forward to make the whiff happen. Sidesteps Solar Flare, sidesteps a Mega Inferno Bomb, but he just goes down to a Scatter the Weak instead. Now Tarzan underneath the tower. SofM turning around. Huge move falling on, follows up as well. But there's no extra damage there. Huanfeng is late to the party, gets one for himself. On still going strong here, still surviving, but Tarzan turns off the tower, gets himself a triple kill, and takes over this series. It is 17-4. LNG have more than a kill a minute, Dagda.
That was an ace. Bin was still dead. He was in the sin bin for that dive on bot lane, and then they kill the rest of Suning. So now LNG, they get the turret top. They're going to get the Rift Herald. There's only inner turrets remaining for Suning. So essentially, they can crack open the base if they want to, if they find that right opportunity. You still have Dragon that's up and available for Suning. It's a Cloud Dragon, which means that Ocean, Mountain, whatever you're feeling here, are still up and available for LNG.
I'm just amazed that Bin even went even here. Like, the fact that he almost actually kills Ale in this dive. Ale has 7 kills at the start of this play. Like,
yeah, I mean, a lot of nice trading back and forth there, but just not quite able to get the finisher as the flash away comes through. And I mean, here on Angel, I don't know why you're trying to take this fight. Like, LNG have full control of this map. They've been running crazy rampant through the river, and they just managed to pick them off. Even if you manage to make a play, Light has that Mega Inferno Bomb. He's going to be able to find that follow-up. So, weird from Suning to just keep committing bodies to this play.
I just love that Huanfeng just ulted a little bit too far away. Had to Gale Force to finish the kill at the end of it. But Tarzan grabbing himself a triple kill. Grabbing himself a Drake as well off the back of that one. And now we've broached the 18-minute mark, Dagda, which means LNG no longer have a kill a minute. And that means we need to see a play happening. We need to see LNG keeping this kill record up, because I am having a whale of a time. I want to see this LNG more often. I want to see this LNG in the second round of playoffs if this is the kind of gameplay we get.
But this is why it's been so heartbreaking to watch this team, right? Like, as I said, I'm a bit of an Lwandy fanboy. I love when we get these games because you get to see what Lwandy can do, right? He's been all over the map, 0, 1, and 10, making his presence known. And then we get other games from LNG which are way slower, that individualistic style. This is the LNG I'd love to see more often, though, where we are getting interaction between the lanes, where we are getting them taking over in this early stages, and a large portion of that coming from Tarzan and this volley pick that we talked about, where he does play more aggressive.
Ali's in trouble in the mid lane, though. This would be a huge bounty, and it is taken there. As a tower taken on the top side of the map. Wait, Light still has a Herald here. Does he have Satchel Charge available? Because this could be a tower taken. Light manages to grab 2 towers for himself. Now a TP into the mid lane. Moonfall onto 2 here. On trying to follow up onto Icon, but scattered away. SofM will go down. The team has disengaged. The Satchel Charge is there. And SofM alone goes in onto Light, but he doesn't have their damage. It's a 1-for-1 across the map. But remember, there were towers taken in the top side as well. Bin trying to threaten in the side lane, but he's still early game as far as Jax is concerned, and he's going to get 1v1 by the enemy jungler. Tarzan 5, 0, and 10 is not afraid of a Jax at this point. Light's arrived as well to do the damage, but Light's gone too far forward. Has to use a stopwatch just to keep himself safe there, but Bin will eventually go down, question mark? What is going on right now? Finally falls to ally.
Yeah, apparently Bin is only allowed to die to Ale. Apparently they made an agreement before the game because they just had to give that one across. Either way, though, did buy a hell of a lot of time, right? Because a lot of members of Sunni had just gone down. Bin making sure that you're not getting more from LNG, right? You're not getting the vision control in that enemy jungle. But again, like, you're trying to make these plays happen to Sunni, which I can understand, right? You're behind. Trying to make picks happen is your best way to get back into this. But not when you've got the entirety of LNG behind you and they're just able to run you back down.
Yeah, and also the tower's taken on the top side, right? That Herald coming out from Light. Manages to get a tier 2 and an inhib tower. There's an open inhib. When we have a Viego in this game that can probably, well, actually, he can't 1v3. I was going to say he could probably 1v3. We literally just saw that he can't 1v3. That was exactly what the replay was. Huanfeng is getting a little bit creative here. I'm curious what the play is. There's nobody anywhere nearby him. I'm not sure that he can 1v1 a Syndra. Dagda, any thoughts?
I mean, look, he can try. The problem is that it's not just Syndra, right? And now he's going to have to reset. He's wasted a hell of a lot of time up here. I mean, sure, you can grab the wave, but look again. LNG controlling the position. He can't come out of this bush. They're going to kill him.
Look at this play. If it works out, though, if it works out, this would be a hell of a way for Sunni to get back in the game. Angel's in trouble. Mega Inferno Bomb. His Angel's in trouble, but Icon has been found. Huanfeng actually gets it, and Angel gets away. Sunni, creative as all hell, but now Ale looking to answer the play at SofM. He's got no way out of this one, and Ale will easily finish a solo kill on the top side of the map. LNG now. They managed to pick off a jungler. They're going to look towards this Baron. Bin pushing in the bottom lane while this goes on. I mean, I don't know if they can really threaten an inhib at this point. LNG are going to get this Baron, but Sunni have to find something on the map.
Yeah, they're going to start pushing in on this mid lane turn. And also the bot lane. Like, Bin will shred through this thing. You do get the enhanced recalls now coming through, but you may lose an inhibitor turret for this. You're definitely lost mid anyway.
So 2 tier 2s are the answer for Sunni. They've got the pick onto Icon. They got 2 tier 2s across the map, but they lose a Baron, importantly. And I mean, Dagda, just look at the gold lead for a second. Brace yourself before you do, because it's 9,000 in favor of LNG. We're 22 minutes into the game, and they have a 9,000 gold lead. Like, at this point, sure, Sunni, you got a couple of trade towers. It's cute and everything, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you're not going to see them now use that gold to fight this next dragon, right? They're far too far behind. And yes, they're trying to make these creative plays with Huanfeng, but if, like, Huanfeng is the creative artist, well, you're seeing LNG as the online comments that are just shredding him apart, making sure that he's not actually getting happy about any of the plays that he's just made, because LNG, they're en masse, they have so much control, and they're trying to keep this game in their hands.
Hope somebody buys Ale an ale after this game, because he has more than earned a drink for himself. 9, 3, and 2. Tarzan as well having an amazing game. Even Light, who TP'd up to the top lane early on to make the plays happen, and has been everywhere that the team needed him to be, annihilating these towers as the Ziggs. That's going to be an inhib taken with basically no response from Sunni across the map. I mean, SofM and Huanfeng are recalling off on other portions of the map at this point. They've not even noticed that the base is being absolutely shredded.
Yeah, I mean, I had kind of the same thought process to me. It's like, LNG will take Dragon, then go for the Siege. LNG like, no, we Siege now, Dragon later. And it means that SofM and Huanfeng kind of got caught with their pants down. One inhibitor gone, bot lane inhibitor gone. As he engaged.
That's a good proto belt there from SofM to keep himself safe, but that's 2 inhibs taken, and guess what? The top lane inhib is open. There's no universe that Suning can just win a 5v5, so they can just brute force up to the top side on the side of LNG here. And just finish off a 3rd inhib. And you know, there's always that conversation of an inhib too early in the game is bad for you. Well, when it's 3 inhibs, it's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, one of the rare occasions where too much of a good thing doesn't matter.
Well, Angel's dead. Here we go, final fight of the game. LNG just gonna absolutely style on Suning. A Moonfall comes through, but it does nothing. Is SofM exhausted on the back line. Light still going strong here. SofM goes down. And LNG have completely upset the apple cart. Huanfeng does nothing, as it is 24-7, just like the action in this game. We're going to game 3 with LNG having a 2-0 advantage on the cusp of their first win against Suning for almost 3 years.
And what a crucial time to do it as well. Round 1 of our playoffs, where last time it was a 3-0 sweep for Suning, and now it's LNG on match point, one step away from putting them in towards the next series. But they still have to try and solidify that. But a performance like that is going to be hard for Suning to bounce back from. That was decimation coming through from the LNG side. Across the board, early game pressure coming through from Tarzan, turning around these early game plays from LNG. That's not me on the screen, but it doesn't matter. We can move across.
Wait, that's not... I think you look quite good in pink, Dagda. You're looking very pretty today.
But I actually am wearing a pink shirt, so like maybe
fair,
I've metamorphosed.
Your face is a bit pink as well. You've been shouting a bit during that last game. Weird draft though, once again, and LNG, I mean, I don't know. Like, all split long, I've been praising Suning's creative drafting, right? I've been talking about the Zac jungle, about the Malzahar pick coming on through. It felt like they had a different pick for every situation. But then we come into playoffs. Game number 2, they're like, all right, hear me out, Zac support. It's like, I'm listening. I hear what you're saying. I'm just not sure I agree with what you're saying, you know?
Yeah, I find this hard to blame on drafts, really. Because, like, if you're just going to int across several kills in the first 10 minutes, no matter what draft you have, it's not going to look great. So, like, I think it's more kind of kudos to Tarzan on this Volibear being able to play up towards that top side. I think SofM, very disrespectful across the course of this game, if not series, to be honest, where we see him like trying to go for this Diana play top side. Volley is insanely strong. Like, Volley in the early stages can early 1v2. Like, it's actually nuts how strong this pick is. And then you end up looking at it in a position where, hey, we've also got Viego, who's going to be able to set up that CC chain. A ton of damage can come through. Plus Icon having that TP advantage mid. There's no, like, math equation that I am working out here that gives the advantage over towards Suning. And then we just see the rinse and repeat topside, where you've got another TP that's going to come through and turn that around for LNG. So it felt like Suning just not respecting the tools that LNG had available or what was actually happening on the map.
I respect the mentality from Suning in this one, though. It was like, win fast, lose fast. Okay, we're behind the early game. That's not going to stop us fighting you. And like, Bin literally trying to dive Ale while he is 0-4 and Ale has 7 kills. Like, name another top laner that's willing to make that play and almost pulls it off. Like, granted, Suning, they're 0-2 in this series, and based on their current performance, they don't deserve to win this series. But, hey, they're making it entertaining for us at very least, so I'm having a whale of a time, Dagda. We're ready to jump into a quick break, but do not go anywhere. We're going to find out if the Young Lions have anything left in the tank, or whether LNG are going to change history and finally take a series against Suning.